Hi guys, how are you? Barbara here. Just putting together this wee video for our witch tutorial. So if you have got these wee packs, this is what you're going to make today or this evening, okay, with your group or organisation or maybe just at home. Okie doke, so there she is. She's got lovely purple curly hair, a black cape, a little hat and a big orange nose. Okie doke. So in your pack, you will have received 3 sachets, orange, purple and black. And that's what we are going to use today. So quite a simple tutorial today for you. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set the purple and the set all these colours out to the side here. And the first colour that we're going to use is the purple. So we are going to start with the body. Okay, start with the body. Now, as you can see, she's got purple hair. Okie dokes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the purple clay, okay, and I'm going to stretch and fold, and then I'm going to take 2 pieces of clay away for the hair. Okay, so 2 pieces of clay about the size of a Malteser sweet. 2 pieces about the size of a Malteser sweet. Okay, so just like that, I'm going to set those over to one side. Keep that for the hair. I'm going to stretch and fold on the rest. Just like that. So keep on stretching and folding, guys. Get it lovely and soft. Softer the better. All right, now if you can set that on the table in front of you, take your high 5 hand and we're going to roll that into a ball. So roll it up round and round. Okay, and you can pause this video at any time. Okay, so if the boys and girls need to get caught up to where I am, then just put it on pause and come back to me when everybody's ready to go. So once you've got a ball shape, okay, what I want you to do is using your high 5 hands, keep it nice and straight, fingers together. We're going to put it at an angle, so to the side of the ball. So your little finger would be on the table and the rest of your hand, you're just going to let it lean to one side and rest on the side of the ball. Don't squish down because you'll only flatten it. So what you want to do is roll forward and back only on the one side until you have an egg shape. Okay, thereabouts, maybe slightly longer, little egg shape. Okay, that's going to be the body. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set that upright. I'm going to hold it with a sort of claw type hand, and we're going to lift and tap, and you can turn that as you're doing it. So basically what we're doing here is just making sure that it's going to stand up and not fall over. Okay, now the cape will help. Whenever you put the cape on, it will help keep your witch standing upright. Okay, so that's our body done. Okie dokes. So if you've got a pointy top, you want to use your thumb, press that down and take the point out of that top there. Okay, so that she has a flat shoulders there to be able to rest her head on. Okay, so actually the next thing we're going to do is the head. So the amount of orange that you've got is probably going to be too much for the head. So what I want you to do is to take off the same amount, about 2 pieces about the size of a Malteser sweet. Take those off, set them to one side, okay, and then stretch and fold on the rest. Now whenever you roll this ball, you're going to have a wee look and see, you know, is it too big? Okay, so I think mine's a little bit too big, so I'm actually going to take a little bit more away. Okay, so you get the size of a head that you would like. Okay, roll it up. So you've stretched and folded, you've taken a little portion away, about the size of a large marble for the leaders or the teachers. Okay, if you're wanting to help out the kiddies there, a large marble is what I've taken away from that orange. Okay, so that you've got a head there. So roll it into a ball, make it lovely and smooth. Okay, and we are simply going to set that on top of our purple body. Okay, set it on top. Great. Okie dokes. Now take your orange again, and you're going to take a pinch about the size of a Skittle sweet, about the size of a Skittle sweet, guys. Okay, or a large pea. Roll it into a ball. Now, at the start, we rolled an egg shape for the body. We are going to roll a droplet shape, so a bit like a carrot, okay, or a water droplet. So using your finger, Peter Pointer, guys, okay, put it to the side of the ball and roll forward and back. Okay, and you can use 2 fingers there if you want, and you want to get a carrot shape, just like that. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to hold it by the point. and we're going to take our witch, and at this stage, because we haven't added anything else, you can put this nose on anywhere at all, but about halfway down the head. So the fatter part of the carrot, I'm going to push on to the front of my witch, about halfway down the head there, you see that? And then I'm simply going to bend it down, going to bend the nose, put a wee bend in her nose there, okay? A wee hook nose, so she's a wee bit more scary. Now, that's her, she's coming along. Now we're going to give her some eyes, so take your black clay, okay, you want to take it out of the sachet, give it a good old stretch and fold. And what we're going to do is we're going to give her 2 tiny little black eyes. So what I want you to do is to pick off a piece of clay about the size of a small pea, okay? Size of a small pea. Okie dokes. And then if you roll forward and back to make that into a sausage shape, take your tool, whatever tool that you've got, it might be this one with a little ball on one end, just use the other end, or whatever cutting end of your tool that you've got, and just cut that wee piece of clay in half so that you have 2 pieces, and then roll those into 2 ball shapes. Now if you think your eyes are too big, then you can always make them smaller, but whenever you've got 2 ball shapes, just touch them together, so just push them into each other on the table, let them touch, and if you touch the side of those, they should stick to your finger, just like this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer these straight over onto our witch. So I'm going to put them right on top of her nose. So just rest them above the nose. Okay, that's that. Great. Now, what I want you to do is to take your black clay again and just take a pinch. So just a pinch, pick off a tiny little pinch of clay. That's even smaller than the first piece that we used there, okay? About the size of a million sweet if you've had those. And what we're going to do is we're going to roll this into a sausage. And we're going to cut off 1/4, okay? Or just a little bit off the end, okay? A little tiny bit off the end. Cut a little bit off the end there. All right, and this is just going to make her look like she's smiling a wee bit better. So this little sausage shape that we have here, we're going to use that for the smile. So if I show you my witch that I've already made, see she has a funny wee smile. It's going up one side of her face there, isn't it? Now you can put your smile on whatever way you want, but I'm going to pop my little smile on here, and I'm going to keep it going up one side like I did with the other one, okay? And with this tiny little piece that we have just cut off, I'm going to make it into a tiny little sausage, and I'm going to put it up at the very top of her smile, just like this, across the other direction, up at the very top of her smile, and there we go, we've got our wee mouth finished. Brilliant. That is awesome. Now what we're going to do, I'm going to do the hat last. Okay, we're going to do the hat last, but what I'm going to do first of all is put on her cape, and then we'll add the hair, and then we'll do the hat, okay? So take your black clay, whatever's left, give it a good old stretch and fold, and we want to keep a little portion for the hat. So how we do that, take your clay, roll a ball, and then roll it into a sausage, and we're going to keep 1/4. So what I want you to do, take your tool, whatever one you've got, and I want you to make a mark halfway. So mark your clay halfway. Okay, so put a little line in it, halfway down. Find the middle, mark the clay. If you cut it in half, that's okay, don't worry. Okay, so what we want to do is take half of 1/2, which is 1/4, okay? So from the middle to the end, mark the halfway point again. Okay, so I'll show you what I mean by that. So there's your middle, and then that's the halfway point between the middle and the end. And we're going to take that little end section there that we have marked. So that's 1/4, and we're going to set that to one side, and that's going to be our hat, okay? Now, at the minute, you've got half and 1/4. So we want to cut that off as well, okay? So we're going to use one part for the cape, and the other bit for the bit that comes around the back of her head. So if you can see here, you've got a cape at the back, and then you've got almost like a hood there as well. So if you've still got that in your 2 sausage shapes, then leave those in those sausage shapes, okay? If you haven't, then what I want you to do is roll those into two little sausages, okay? So this one would be about the length of your thumb. So the smaller one is about the length of your thumb, and the bigger one is the length of your longest finger. Okay, and once you've done that, then we are going to use this bottom part of our hand here, and we're going to press down to flatten those. Okay, so this is the collar, and then flatten the big long bit. And what you want to do is push down and push out. So you're spreading that clay out to make it wider. Okay, so you want this to be a rectangular shape. A rectangular shape. Okay, so push down, push out. And as long as you get, now you don't have to be, it doesn't have to be perfect, guys, okay? Because whenever you put this onto your witch, it'll probably change shape and stuff anyway, okay? So don't be too particular with that. So what we're going to do, we're going to take our cape, we're going to turn her to the back, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on the table, okay? So put a wee bit as if it's draping behind her, and then bring the cape up just to the sort of neck area, okay? So attach that on to the back, bring it round the sides, okay, and then let it fold at the bottom. So I'm going to show you how that worked out there, okay? So you've got it coming around the sides, just about a wee tiny bit up the back of the head, and then the bit at the bottom. That's going to help her stand up, that little bit that hangs out at the back part of the cape, okay? And you can put your collar on now, okay? And if you want, you can put little points into the corners, and how you do that is just using your pinchers. Pinch the corners and make them a wee bit more pointy, and then flatten them a bit with your hand. And there you've got your two pointy collars, pointy corners of your collars. Okay, and then you're just simply popping that onto the back. So just put that on to the back, and you want to keep this out from the head at the minute, okay? So don't stick it onto the head, guys. Stick it onto the cape, You see how that's away from my head? Okay, because we want to put her hair on. So leave your witch there. Okay, and just use the bottom of that cape to keep her standing up. So she's leaning to one side, bring your cape round to that side, and that will push her back up a wee bit. Now, hair. Take your purple clay, give it a good old stretch and a fold. Roll a sausage. Okay, cut it in half. So you could have two big long strands of hair, two sort of more solid pieces, just like I've done with the little curls, or you can cut it into 4 pieces and have 4 strands of hair. That's up to you guys, okay? I'm going to go with 2. So cut it in half. You've got 2 pieces of purple clay. I would like you to roll those into 2 sausages about the length of your thumb, okay? About the length of your thumb. And once you've got those, just like this I've got on the table here, we're going to use that bottom part of our hand again to just press down and flatten those. Now, not too flat. You don't want them super duper flat. Okay, you don't want them squished into the table. So flatten those down. And what we're going to do is we're going to curl the end. Okay, a bit like the shell of a snail. So start at one end and just curl the clay up and turn it a little bit so that you've got a little curl on the end. Same on the other one. Curl it up. Round it goes. You've got a little curl on the end. Now what we want to do, the little curly bit comes down to the bottom. You see that? All right. Don't worry about gaps at the back because it's going to be covered by your collar. So don't worry about her being a wee bit bald. All right. Okay, so we're going to pop these on. So the flat bit, the curl goes to the bottom, flat bit to the top, and you're going to go behind her. And remember, guys, that her hat has to go on. So don't worry too much about starting right up here and coming down, okay? Because that's all going to be covered by her hat. So you can start halfway down the head, which will give her slightly longer hair. Okay, so let me show you. There we go. So see how she's a wee bit bald on top, but that's okay because that's going to be covered. Okay, so she looks a bit odd at the minute, but that's okay. So what we need to do is there she's got her wee hair on, and now we can bring her collar is the word I was looking for. Bring her collar up to cover her wee baldy head. There she is. Okay, so the hat. Okay, now what I want you to do, take your black clay, give it a stretch and a fold. Okay, stretch and fold. Great. Now, if you want, okay, I'm going to do this very quickly now. It'll be a wee bit different because we don't have green clay, but what I want you to do is take the tiniest wee pinch of black away and leave it beside the rest of your orange clay that you've got left, okay, if you've got any. Tiny, tiny wee pinch of black, all right? Okay, so black clay, roll it into a ball, roll a sausage, cut it in half, roll 2 ball shapes. You can pause me at any time, okay? So we had a piece of black clay, we rolled a sausage, we cut it in half. We have 2 pieces of clay, roll them both into ball shapes, okay? For the bottom of the hat, we're going to flatten one. So press down with your hand and flatten. Whatever the biggest one is, guys, flatten the biggest one. If they're both the same size, then that's fine. Okay, so flatten one piece. So it looks like a disc. And with the other piece, we're going to make our carrot shape again, okay? So set it on the table and roll on one side, only on one side. Try not to squish it down, just roll forward and back until you've got a pointy shape like this. And what you want to do is hold it again like a claw, like we did with the body at the start, so that the fat bits at the bottom, give it a tap on the table to flatten that out. And it should sit upright. And then you're going to pop this on top of the disc shape right in the middle. Okay, so pop that on there. And if you wish, you can put a wee bend at the top of her hat. And then you can pop that on the top of her head. Bish, bash, bosh. And there you have your little witch. Dum, da, dum. Pop it up, it up. Lovely. Give her a bit of a bend there on the hat. Great. Now, with this little bit, this is just a wee added extra, okay, if you've got time. If you don't have time, the leaders can turn the wee video off, okay? If you do have time, then this is a wee added extra. So, the rest of your orange clay, give it a stretch and a fold. Roll a ball. Okay. And then what I want you to do is we're going to put lines right around. So this is going to be a little pumpkin. So use your little finger, your baby finger, to make a little hole in the top. So just push down, make a little hole in the top. Okay, and that's the top of your pumpkin. And then we're going to put lines the whole way around. So take your tool and just from the top, roll the tool around the edge the whole way around. I'll finish mine and then show you what I mean. Okay, so leave a little gap between each line. Okay, so I've literally just put little lines right around it. Okay, and then take this tiny little bit of black that we had left over and roll it into a very short sausage. And then that is going to be the little stalk. And you can set your little pumpkin next to your witch. And there you go. Well done, guys. Send me some photos of your finished products. I would love to see them. And have a nice